Hi everyone and welcome back to my desk. This week I received this little parcel which I kind of wasn't expecting. Whenever I back something on a place like Kickstarter and they say they're sending out the parcels, I just sort of expect it's going to take a few weeks for it to get to me, but it was surprisingly fast for me to receive this Rainbowholic collector's passport. Now, if you're a stationery lover and you don't yet know Rainbowholic, they're a wonderful little store in Tokyo in Japan. I haven't actually made it to the store yet. I've been to Tokyo twice in the last 2 years, so I'm really determined to finally go to their store when I go back this year. But they have a lot of really cute stationery and are obsessed with collecting stamps like I am. These are the Eki stamps that I've collected in Japan. And so they created a special stamp notebook. Of course, you can stamp in whatever kind of notebook you like, and I'll talk about the kind of notebooks that I like to stamp in as we open it up, but I thought we could open this up together and take a look at what I received from this Kickstarter pledge and just talk a little bit about collecting stamps. So let's open it up. It has this really cute washi tape, which of course I will save. And here we have the book. So this is the collector's passport. As you can see, I only pledged to receive one notebook. So I went for the beginner tier, which was 2,000 yen. And backing a project from Japan, I knew the shipping would be quite expensive, and actually the shipping cost more than the pledge. So this notebook and the sticker that comes with it was 2,000 yen, and the shipping was 2,500 yen. I was tempted to increase the amount of notebooks I was going to receive and increase the amount I was going to pledge, but I realized I didn't want more than one because I know that I'm not going to use more than one. So rather than have an excess of stationery, I just wanted to buy what I wanted to look at and leave it at that. But before we look at the notebook, I want to look at what they've sent me. So in this adorable little envelope is the sticker that was included, and it is the certified stamp collector sticker. I believe there were 6 different stickers that would just randomly be chosen if you only went for the beginner, but I'm very happy that I got this one. And then let's take a look at what is in this really cute little paper bag. So there's another little Rainbowholic sticker, which is really cute. A little sachet of pancake tea, which sounds very interesting. I'll have to try it. And then here's like a little flyer for their stationery subscription box, which I have not subscribed to yet because I have way too much stationery, but there's a look at it if you're interested. Oh, and here's a little thing about the tea and a little note from the Rainbowholic team about the campaign. So it says, "Thank you for supporting our first Kickstarter campaign with Grandpa Nakamura's company." So Grandpa Nakamura is the man who made the notebooks in Japan. So that's why I was interested in backing it, because I really enjoy this sort of attitude in Japan towards supporting and reviving or maintaining the traditional practices and making of product. So it was nice that they used a local producer. So they reached 5,600,000 Japanese yen from 660 backers worldwide. And this one is a note about supporting them. This is very, very nice. I love how they have all these sort of hand-drawn little notes, which is just a nice touch. And here's another little sweet image that they have sent as well. So I've just taken this out of the plastic because it always messes with my mic, and there are a few more bits of paper in the back. So here we have an explanation about why this notebook is special. So I'm most interested in this feature, the easy to remove pages. It opens flat. So this little notebook here, I use a little clamp to hold it open, so it'll be nice to see how flat this notebook stays open. And it's made with high quality Kishu paper to prevent ink bleed and ensure clean stamping. So there's just this little leaflet here about where to find stamps in Japan and sort of examples of how you could use the stamp passport to journal or collect stamps, which is very cute. Oh, and this is helpful. It has some phrases to ask for stamps in Japanese. So Do you have stamps? Do you have paper? Do you have ink? So when they don't have any ink left, you can ask the station staff, if you're collecting the train station stamps, if they could put out a new ink pad. So that's actually quite helpful and quite easy to ask. Inku arimasu ka? And they say, feel free to show and point what you want to ask the station staff. So that's handy to be able to carry that around with you. And then what's in here? And they've got sort of like in the traveller's notebook, they've got a little passport page that you could insert into the notebook. So this is the notebook. It's this lovely red colour. And I know they sent an update saying that some of them had a mark on the back, but I really wouldn't mind because I know they're sort of handmade and it has detail about the type of paper and how many sheets. And I like how it's bound as well. So let's open it up. Now what I'm interested in about the paper is that it does look like it's sort of in pairs. So when you tear out the sheets, you can take sort of 2 pages in one. So I've actually got some stamps with me and we're going to test out the paper. So to make sure that it's a sheet where I can pull it out, you just sort of, you can kind of see the difference. So this is the crease of the paper, and when it looks a little bit darker, that's sort of the join. So we should be able to tear it out from there. But I'm going to stamp it in the book and then we'll see how easy it is to remove the page. And I'm first going to try these little Eric stamps that I have, and I'm going to be using my Shachihata ink pads. So let's try with this purple ink first. And I'm going to do the little cat. Now I find these inks are deceptive because it doesn't really look like there's much ink on there, but we'll try it anyway. There we go. That looks nice. And then I want to do a different colour for the bigger stamp. And actually for the other stamp, I'm going to use the Eric stamp pad because it's very inky. So I want to see how a very inky ink works on this page. And that's very nice and clear. So I think what I would mostly use this for is to collect stamps or to put stamps on and then maybe scan them or photograph them because it gives you a very clear image. I do also want to try another ink. So this is another Japanese ink. I think every ink that I have is made in Japan, but I want to try this stamp that I got in Berlin of Ample Man because I'm obsessed with the Ample Man ever since I went there. And so I bought this green ink while I was there to be able to stamp my Ample Man. There's a little bit of fluff on it. And that's really nice and clear. So it really does what it says on the tin. It's nice to stamp on, and actually what you might be interested in seeing is the bleed. And you can kind of see the ink behind there, but it might not be as obvious as with the traveller's notebooks, which I use. So here you can see quite clearly the stamps behind, but I don't really mind too much because I just like to collect them and I'm not trying to bring them home and scan them or take pictures of them clearly to reuse or reprint them elsewhere. But yeah, just so you are aware, you can see the stamp slightly through this page. And then lastly, I do just want to try and stamp some of the pre-inked stamps that I got in Japan. So I have them all in this little kept case. So let's try and remove the page because it seems like it should be very easy. Ooh. And it is. So it's kind of like a gummed binding at the back. But that's a really nice feature that you can just take this out and it doesn't really affect, you know, the book. You can't tell that there's any ripped pages. So that's a really nice feature. So will I be using this when I go back to Japan at the end of this year? I'm not sure. I don't think I'll use it to collect all of my stamps like I've done previously, just because I've been using the same size traveller's notebook for both of my previous trips, and I'd like to store them all together, and this is a bigger size, so it would sort of annoy me a little bit that they're not all the same size. But I think I will take it with me just to use as like a test page, or to get some more clear images of stamps that I might want to cut out or make copies of and make stickers from in the future for journaling. But I do already have one of these passport size notebooks to collect just stamps on my daily travels. I think it was a really interesting project for them to start, and to receive so much support. It just really shows how much people love Rainbowholic and their products, and I cannot wait to go to their little shop. And I really hope to make it to Bungu Joshi Haku in December, where usually Rainbowholic has a stand. And hopefully the success of their Kickstarter campaign will mean that they will stock this product in the store. So people who are going to Japan and want to have a really nice notebook to collect stamps in, they can go and grab this. So I hope you've enjoyed just a quick look at this new product. I think Japan is one of the most amazing places for stationery innovation. So it's so wonderful to see people like Rainbowholic who are so passionate about stationery to start developing things because they want to help people to collect stamps and join this community of stamp collectors and have the best experience possible. So I can't wait to take this with me to Japan. So let me know what you think of this Rainbowholic Stamp Collector's Passport. Did you manage to get one, or would you get one in the future? Or let me know what you like to collect your stamps on when you're travelling. And if you liked this video, please do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!